Hello, my name is Alex Worth, and welcome to my presentation of Perseus the Hero. The best time to view Perseus would be in mid to late November, around 1 o'clock in the morning. The picture in this slide represents November 28th, later this year, at 1 o'clock in the morning. You're going to want to begin by finding Orion the Hunter. You'll first find the 3 little stars that connect his belt, and then you'll see the 4 other stars that are the shoulders and the feet. If you start with Betelgeuse and start going to the right and look for a star that has several smaller clusters around it, not the very first yellowish star you see, but keep going a little bit further and you'll come across to Myrfak. And then start with the other shoulder and do the same thing at about the same angle. You'll find another star in the constellation by the name of El Ghul. This star is a little more popular than Myrfak, and its most common nickname is the Demon Star. Now, Myrfak is the center star in this constellation and is where the 3 lines intersect that make up Perseus, as so. The first star in Perseus, that is the absolute brightest, is going to be Myrfak, which is the Alpha Persei. It sits about 506 light years away. The class for it is a F5 IB. It's a supergiant, and the radial velocity sits at negative 2.04 kilometers per second. The second brightest star in this constellation is El Ghul, which is the Beta Persei, and that sits a little bit closer at about 93 light years away. This class is a B7V. It is considered a main sequence star, and its radial velocity is 3.7 kilometers per second. The third brightest star is going to be the Delta Persei. This star sits about 520 light years away. Its class is a B5, Roman numeral 3. It is considered a giant star, and its radial velocity is about 4 kilometers per second. And the fourth brightest star in the constellation is Gamma Persei. It sits at about 245 light years away, and it is a G8, Roman numeral 3, plus A2V. That is the binary star system, the 2 classes together. It is considered a supergiant, and its terminal velocity is about 2.5 kilometers per second. And here are the 4 stars that are the brightest in this constellation, all within 1 star of the center, also the brightest star. The first space object I would like to point out is going to be the spiral cluster. It sits a little bit below or to the side, depending on which way you look at it, of El Ghul. This cluster has approximately 60 to 100 stars and sits around 1,400 light years away. The next deep space object is the M76 Planet Nebula, also called the Little Dumbbell Nebula. This nebula is about 2,500 light years away. The next deep space object is kind of a 2-for-1. It is the Heart and Soul nebulas, and they are sitting around 7,500 light years away. It can be difficult to be seen with a basic telescope, but if you do find it, it is quite the sight. It is located in the Perseus arm of the galaxy. And the last object is the double cluster, or the Caldwell 14, the C14, the NGC 869, NGC 884. These are the H Persei and X Persei, respectively. Some recent data measurements put the distances of the NGC 884 at 7,600 light years away, and the NGC 869 at about 6,800 light years away. And here's all 4 of the deep space objects again. As Greek mythology goes, there once was a king named Perseus. He had a beautiful daughter named Danae. Wonderful family. The oracle of Apollo told Perseus that there would be a day when Danae's son would kill him. So, doing what any, mystical believer would do, locked her in a tower so she could never bear children. However, Zeus found out, and found her, and came through a window as a, quote, golden rain, unquote, and when he landed on her lap, boom, baby boy. And, hint, hint, this is Perseus. Perseus found out, and he locked Danae and baby Perseus in a large chest, cast them to sea. Somehow, miraculously, they made it to Seriphus with the ruler of Polydectes. Dictys was a fisherman who caught their chest in his net, pulled them to shore, and freed them. Polydectes wanted to marry Danae, and as a somewhat of a trick, Polydectes said that every person had to bring a gift, and it had to be a horse or something along those lines, and they were very expensive. Well, Perseus did not have a gift or the money to find the gift, and he claimed that he would get whatever the king had wanted. Well, the king wanted the head of Medusa, which was one of the 3 Gorgon sisters, and the only one that happened to be mortal. Perseus made it there to her lair, slain her, and put her head into a bag that protected the eyes of Medusa's head, because although severed from the body, the head could still turn anything to stone. On his return towards Seriphus, he saw what looked like a statue chained to a rock, but it was actually Andromeda. She explained to him that she was locked there because of her mother, and there was a sea monster that was supposed to eat her. And just as she was talking about it, this sea monster had emerged from the water, and Perseus had pulled Medusa's head from the bag and turned the monster to stone. He then cut Andromeda's chains free and took her to her father, King Cepheus of Phoenicia, where Perseus asked for Andromeda's hand in marriage, and her father accepted. Upon returning to Seriphus, Perseus competed in a discus game. When he threw the disc, it hit an old man, which turned out to be Perseus. Now, this is just full circle coming back around. Doesn't matter what you do, things still happen. After that, Perseus, used Medusa's head to turn a few more evil people to stone, while he and Andromeda lived happily for many years. Perseus was eventually killed by Dionysus, and after death, to be immortalized, Perseus and Andromeda were turned into stars, and they would live together in the sky. Now we have Perseus right here in the center, and below Perseus is Andromeda, and to Andromeda's right is Cassiopeia, her mother, and to her right is Cephas, her father. So it's a nice little family all together here. Alright, and this has been my presentation on Perseus. Thank you for watching.